Shalom to all my brothers and sisters. Karaitism, unlike Orthodox Judaism, believed that the Torah given to all of Israel was given in its entirety, written down for all of us to study and learn. As Deuteronomy chapter 31 declares, at that time it says that you were to read the Torah every 7 years, so that all the men, the women, and the children may hear and fear and learn to keep all the words of this Torah. Now, what Torah says itself is that by learning, study, and meditation on the words of Elohim, we can understand how to keep the Torah. Now, every sect, including Karaites, yes, we have traditions. How to keep the mitzvot. Now, the big difference is our traditions are not claimed to be from God. We do not claim that the way we slaughter an animal or the methods came from Sinai. We follow the words of the Torah as it says to drain the animal's blood on the floor as water and cover it up and to slaughter it in the manner that it says. Now we do our best in our traditional way to slaughter the animal according to the words written. The best we can do. Now the form and the way that we choose to do these things is not by any Karaite claim to be the words of Elohim, ever. We simply have traditions. It is a common rabbinical claim that the Torah is but a skeleton, or the framework, or the headline of the whole Torah. A lot of times it's referred to as the newspaper article headline. The Torah is the headline, the theme. This is what the theme is. The Talmud is the explanation, little fine print details. Being a skeleton or a theme, they further claim it needs blood and flesh to make it vibrant and living. The rabbis have found this vibrancy in the form of their oral law, or Talmud. A careful investigation, however, demonstrates that the rabbinical oral law is not the blood and flesh that the Torah is missing, but rather the byproduct of a failure to search the Tanakh for their true meaning, or search the scripture for their true meaning. In the absence of such a search, the oral law often comes to erroneous conclusions about Tanakh, or the Hebrew Bible. It is a great tragedy that most Jews are told that the Torah is an incomplete document, or the Tanakh as a whole is incomplete. It's missing so much. This is false. It's false. And it is also claimed, not only is it incomplete, but it must be supplemented with this oral accompaniment. The Tanakh needs to have the Talmud. The Torah has to have the oral Torah. This is contrary to the clear preaching in the Tanakh itself, in which it says in Psalms chapter 19 verse 8, the Torah of Yehovah is perfect. As a result, those students who are genuinely interested in reaching the true meaning of the passage become psychologically dependent on the oral law or on unoral law. They feel the answers are not contained within Tanakh. You have to have the Talmud itself, and therefore do not undertake the necessary steps to find them within the Tanakh itself by deep study of Tanakh. The focus is on Talmud, not on Tanakh. That's the problem. The need for an oral law to interpret the commandments thus becomes self-reinforcing. never allowing one to search the Tanakh itself for the answers. Be assured, however, that most of the meaning of the commandments and principles can be determined from an honest and thorough investigation and deep study of Tanakh. That which cannot be determined is the result of our inability to recover the plain meaning of the text, which would have been available to the average Israelite receiving the Torah. Now, the claim that the Torah is incomplete and Tanakh alone is heresy, in reality it's not. And Karaites have always stuck to this understanding that the Tanakh has every detail that is needed for us to learn how to be close to Yehovah, keep his Torah, and it does not need man-made decrees. For example, in the Talmud, it explains many of the laws in the Talmud and how to keep them. But there's many issues. For example, sometimes it's completely contradictory. In other times, one rabbi says this, and another rabbi disagrees and says, no, this is how you do it. And sometimes even a third rabbi will say, both of you are wrong, this is how you do it. And what is told is that any one of these rabbis that you choose to follow is the way of Elohim, is the words of God. It's as if you're obeying God by following the rabbis. Now, I respect those who believe this. I'm not here to attack. I'm simply giving the Karaite understanding based on Tanakh that we follow the words of Elohim, and if it's not written in Tanakh, we reject it as the words of men. Now, we do respect it, and we do consider what they have to say, because not all of it is to be rejected, because there's a lot of wisdom there, a lot. And the Talmud has been very, very highly misjudged, attacked, ridiculed from people who have never even picked up a Talmud. So please do not take this video in offense that I am attacking the Talmud, because you are wrong. I'm not trying to do that. I deeply respect the traditions of the Orthodox Jewish people and their tradition and their sages. I'm simply stating the Karaite position. What we believe that all the misunderstandings or the misunderstandings that Orthodox Jews will say, this cannot be understood. We feel like it can, based on the scripture, that if you thoroughly study and pay attention and search Tanakh and study very carefully more than the Talmud, you will find those answers. It's not very difficult to find those answers. And that's where Karaism differs from Orthodox tradition, is that we believe that the words of Elohim in Tanakh contain what is needed to keep the Torah. The Torah is perfect. There was nothing missing.